All right, Charlie Puth, my fellow New Jerseyan.
That's right.
You are from New Jersey. I am as well. Do you still got that East Coast in you kind of thing?
Did you give me a pork roll one time?
I did not, but I would
I,
do that. I
I
would.
I thought you gave me a pork roll one time. There's
See,
somebody gave me a pork roll in Nashville
I
one
would
time.
have never called it a pork roll.
That's
It's
right.
Taylor ham where I'm from.
And you know that I'm allergic to that, so I can't have it. No, I, yeah, I mean, I always feel like, don't you always feel like you get along with Jerseyans like very well after?
Instantly. Instantly. Like everywhere I go, I know there's somebody that's East Coast because it's like right off the bat, boom.
Absolutely, we have that immediate connection.
Which is really cool. And I don't think a lot of people can say that about other places.
No, I mean, they absolutely do, but we just focus on us because we're the greatest.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go. There we go. Bring it back to us being amazing in New Jersey. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Quiet narcissism. That's all. That's all.
Well, I'm really pumped to talk to you about Light Switch because you've been teasing us relentlessly on TikTok about it.
I'm sorry.
Honestly, it's a really cool thing though, because you're showing us more like behind the scenes, the way that you work out, how you're going to put a entire song together.
Right. Well, I mean, you know where I got that idea from was the Kid Leroy when we made Stay. I thought we at least build the track out a little bit and work on it for maybe a couple of weeks before we start teasing it. But we wrote the hook, the chorus, and he took out his phone and started filming the chorus. I'm like, bro, you're gonna give the song away. And he was like, doesn't, in his Australian accent. It's like nobody cares anymore. Just give the fans what they want. And that really stuck with me. And then a year went by and people all year were like, where is Stay? Where is Stay? And I thought to myself, I got to do something like that where it's almost like teaching people something. I got to um,
Yeah.
show them like how the song starts so they feel like they wrote the song with me, even though they really didn't write the song with me because that's a publishing nightmare.
I got to know, how many inanimate objects did you use on Light Switch?
I So that's the only part I fudged a little bit. I had the idea to flick a light switch.
You lied?
Kind of just, it was a white light, kind of to just zhuzh it up a little bit. I hit three things that I knew wouldn't work in the song, and I was like, oh, that's right. But I was going to then just Google a light switch sound and use that. But in the TikTok, me taking the microphone and recording the light switch, that actually happened, and I used that sound. I mean, it's out right now. You can look at the album art, I mean, the single art, and they were like, oh, we want to use a nice picture of your face. I'm like, we got to show a picture of the light switch. So I just, with my iPhone, yay style, just took a picture of the light switch, and that's the single artwork.
Very artistic.
Might be the worst idea ever or the best. Who knows?
You never know. So you have perfect pitch though. Do you ever just hear a random sound and automatically, like in your head, shout out what the note is?
Somebody asked me this last night, only if I need to. But I think my subconscious mind is always listening to, like, for example, if I'm doing what we all do, and that's browse TikTok while watching a TV show, but not really watching. We all do it.
Every one
Really,
of us.
I don't know why we do it, but it's just comforting. Like,
it's the dumbest thing ever. Like, we're not paying attention to anything then.
We're watching a murder documentary and we're browsing how to make lobster macaroni and cheese. It's fine. Yeah. But there's a point to this. So there's two sounds happening, what's happening on my phone and what's happening in the background. I'm not listening to, or watching for that matter, what's going on that television in front of me. But if I want to, I can tell my subconscious brain to start listening and play back what I wasn't listening to, if that makes sense. So if there's some creepy E minor music, maybe that's playing in the background, but I'm not really listening for that. I'm focused on my phone. Maybe if it will catch my ear, I'll tell my brain, hey, wake up. What was that? And I'll play it back. It's almost like I have a tape recorder like recording everything. It's incredibly stressful at times. Sometimes I lose sleep, but it's incredibly useful while making music.
It's also just flat out incredible, and I've never felt less of a talent in my life. Like I feel like I have no talent now.
Stop. You're very talented. Being from Jersey is one of those towns.
That is such a New Jersey thing to say.
Mhm.
Okay, so you had tweeted out, now that the song's out, you tweeted out that you were intentionally saving a part of the song and not showing anybody on TikTok. What part was that?
Right. Well, if you listen, it's a word that I can't say on the radio nor in the song. So I ended up replacing the word with a word that rhymes with the word. So you go to the before the third chorus, the part where it really slows down. You know how to just make me want to, and I just didn't want to say the word, so I just said,
Okay.
There's a version that exists that is a joke and nobody will ever hear. And also in the second verse, not so bad when you walk like that. No, what rhymes with walk? That's so it's just I
Okay, so
obviously
you're having a little fun there, and that's what you want everybody to kind of catch on to.
that shit is just for me. No one's ever gonna hear that. But I wanted to just have it out in the world. Maybe maybe I'll leak it or something one day. But
I think you need to now that people know it exists. It might have to be leaked.
I don't know. I probably won't do it.
So you use TikTok a lot for this song. And
Yes,
I need to know, is there a TikTok dance ready that you created for this song?
Well, it's what you and I discussed before this. You're going to perform it for everybody right now, Ricky. So the
I do
song.
have a suggestion.
Okay, the song is queued up. Go ahead and dance for us now, Jersey style.
I don't have the whole dance, but when the light switch switches, it needs to be like a you snap your fingers kind of thing,
Yeah.
and the lights got to change.
Yeah, I think that's the obvious the obvious way of doing it.
Okay, it may not be very creative, but it's easy.
No, it's great. I mean, I just flip the switch, flick. It always works, but I always love seeing people's creative juices flow. Like before a couple weeks before the song came out, back in the beginning of January, people, when there was like 10,000 videos on, we weren't even like promoting the record. There was a guy who went up on his bed and kicked the ceiling fan light with all intention of not kicking and breaking it, but to kind of tap it with his foot, and then the light would change. But he ended up accidentally, dangerously breaking the glass, and it was so funny, and it almost like went with the song a little bit. So now people are just hitting things that aren't light switches, and they're being
Great.
gross and inappropriate, which is great.
I mean, hitting things that aren't like things that are supposed to be broken is kind of therapeutic, though.
Yeah, they're like taking baseball bats and smacking TVs. You turn me on like a...
That sounds great to me. I would love to take a baseball bat to a TV some days.
However people want to interpret the song, as long as I can musically inspire. That's because if I wasn't doing this, I would be a music teacher. I really do get a certain joy out of inspiring people to make music.
Well, you're not only inspiring through music, though, because recently you reached out to a young actor, Axel, who didn't get into Juilliard.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
how did you even find that?
It showed up on my For You page, and he was visibly very upset. And I commend him and all the other millions of people on the app for showing their personality, because in like 2015 it was like the cool thing to do was to show this fake version of your life and face tune everything. Now people are showing their emotions and how they truly feel on this new way of media, amongst other animal puppy videos that seem to show up interweaved and all that stuff. But I saw Axel crying that he didn't get into Juilliard, and I thought to myself, I also didn't get into Juilliard. I wonder if he'd like to hear that I ended up just fine, and he's just at the very beginning of his career. And then I watched more videos on his page. I'm like, oh, he's very he's very in tune with his audience. He's like very clever, and it's a school. Juilliard's an amazing school, but I don't believe that it makes you an amazing performer. It could, but you internally make yourself amazing.
I agree with you entirely. That's such a scary point of your life too. Like I remember applying to colleges and just waiting for those letters to come back and just being frantic every day, opening the mailbox and being like, did I get into anywhere? Am I going to go to college or am I going to be a failure?
Well, you're not going to be a failure if you.
Absolutely not. But it feels that way at the time. You know what I mean? And also, like, you're so young. You just like want to do something good for yourself and you feel like this is the right path. And it's just like, it's devastating when you don't get in.
But you learn things along the way too. I didn't get into Tanglewood. I got rejected off America's Got Talent because I wouldn't sing. I truly believe you have to be uncomfortable to become ultimately comfortable. If everything went your way, nothing would be exciting. Like law of diminishing returns. If you have pizza every day, you're gonna hate pizza. Like sometimes rejection is like it's a beautiful thing because it leads you to a direction that you didn't think that you were going to end up in.
I 100% agree with you. Just a little backstory on me. I got denied to colleges that I wanted to go to in Florida. I ended up going to college in New York City, which then led me to my internship, which then led me down this path of radio that I never even thought that I was going to be in.
You're a perfect example. How amazing is that?
Never in a million years did I think radio, and it all just kind of like happened that way. And like now I can't imagine myself not in radio.
And you just happen to be a pretty cool person.
I like to think so. Like, am I?
Very cool. Jersey stand up.
So, you know, the internet is a wild place and a lot of things are very easily misconstrued.
Yes.
What's going on with Benny Blanco?
I you know as much as I do. Like
okay.
I made music with Benny. You know, the first video, he actually texted me when he made the first video. He was like, hey, I'm going to do that. I have this idea. I'm going to, I'm going to kind of make fun of you. And I was like, oh, he's going to like make fun of my, make fun of my, musical brain and that's it. But he went in and then I texted him like, are you serious? Like, is this still part of the joke? And I didn't get a response. And then I texted him again and I was like, hey, I'm just making sure we're good. And then I just keep seeing these videos pop up. And then Billy made a video response. So I'm clueless. I'm clueless on most things. I'm kind of head in the clouds and just singing melodies all day. So I don't really know what's going on, but I hope we're good.
Okay. I mean, I hope you guys are good too. It threw me for a loop. I was like, what is going on here?
Me as well. I truly have no idea what's happening, but I have so much respect for Benny and Billy too. It was nice of her to stick up for me if that's what she was doing. But Benny is a musical genius, so I have no idea I have to check in. I just haven't.
Right. It's got to be a little like validating though to have Billy like step in and be like, dude, what are you talking about? And having somebody kind of like defend you in a way.
It just makes me realize how many people are on the internet.
Very true. Yeah.
It's crazy. We're truly all doing the same thing. All right.
Absolutely. Everybody is so the same and we're all just like people at the end of the day, just scrolling through TikTok, not wanting to go to work the next day for the most part.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all not that impressive. We are miracles to be living creatures, and it is great that we get to all these privileges and we get to do what we love and inspire other people. But I mean, we're all the same, really. It's not that interesting.